Hello family, welcome back to our channel. So today I'll be teaching us how to make that trending turban cap. Alright, this tutorial is beginners friendly, especially for those that doesn't know how to achieve a V-band turban cap. Alright, so I want to teach us the easiest method to do that. Alright, so first thing, I've cut out this fabric. It's on fold, and the measurement on fold is 18 inches. Okay, as you can see, 18 inches. Then the length, the width is 16 inches, because I want to achieve up to 4 pleats. All right, if you don't want to get up to 4 pleats, you can use a minimum of 12 inches for the width. All right, so 18 inches by 18 inches will give you about 36 inches. All right, so I will go ahead now and pleat it straight down. So I'll be pleating it. The reason why I'm doing this, some persons, after making their V pleat, you will notice that maybe the first pleat in the left side is bigger than or is smaller than the one at the right side. So for you to achieve a uniform pleat with the same size of measurement as a beginner, I would advise cut out the fabric for your band like the way I did now. Cut it out, then go ahead and make your pleats. Okay, cut it out, go ahead and make your pleats straight. After that, you just go ahead, fold it into two, then you divide it. So right now I'll be making my pleats. So I'm going to do this as I fold it like this. I'm trying to hide in the rough edge. So I'll just go ahead and complete this off camera, then I'll come back to show us the next thing to do. So guys, after making your plates, so this is what we'll have. Okay, so at the end of the day, I was able to make 4 plates. Okay, I didn't want to exceed the 4 plates. So we'll be crossing it now to achieve our V band or V shape. So before we do that, for you to get accurate measurement for a perfect V band, this is what I do. Measure your base. Okay, measure your base. Remember I said I cut out 30 inches, so the length or the head circumference side of my base is 30 inches. 30 inches. So, and to achieve that, I'll measure this one. So I'm going to get my chalk. So I'm going to mark it. Sorry. I'll measure from here to get my 15 inches. So I'm going to mark it. .15 inches. So I'm marking it now with my chalk. So I'll get the other one. So I'll still measure 15 inches. I'll mark. So this will serve as a guide. This is going to serve as a guide, okay, for you as you're crossing your V band. So once you place it this way, you get this one. This is where my mark is 15 inches. So when you join the two, 15 plus 15 will give you 30 inches, which is the length of our base, okay, or the body of the turban cap. So just extend it. So then you cross it this way. Okay, so make sure that you're crossing, you cross it make sure that the point, the 15 inches point, the place you marked is touching the place you mark here, the 15 inches mark here is touching the 15 inches mark in the other piece of fabric. So you bring both together like this. Okay, as you can see, we've already formed our V shape. So I'm going to be pinning it down. Okay, remember what I said, make sure that the 15 inches, the place you mark for the 15 inches, make sure you pin. So for you to know that you're on track, so fold it into two. Okay, let me remove the pin. So hold it this way, this is the midpoint, fold it. So for you to know that you're on track, the both end, the two end of your base should align together. One should not be bigger or longer than each other, please. Okay, so having done that, as you can see, mine are together. All right, so no one now is longer than the other. So I'm going to go ahead now to pin it down. So after doing that, so I'm going to be joining them together to achieve my V plate or V band. So I'm going to be stitching it down this way. I'll sew like this. I'm getting here, I'll bring my hand towards this end. Moving over to the design proper. So remember, I said the head circumference for the body of our turban cap is 30 inches. Okay, for the length you can cut out 40 inches or 35, because I cut out 35. So first of all, what you will do, use your measuring tape. As you can see, if you see clearly, you see I mark out 1.5 inches. Okay, so that's what I did. I mark it from one end to the other. So this allowance here will serve, we'll use it to join our V band. Okay, we'll use this allowance, this measure, this 1.5 here, to join our band. So moving over to the design proper. Remember, this is the foam I'm using. This is not the thick one, it's not the one of 1 inch. This foam is light, it's lighter than the other one, and the measurement is 3 inches by 30. 3 inches by 30. So at this point, I'll be working with my pins. So I'll get your foam, fold it into two. So you bring it this way. Please watch what I'm doing. Remember the 1.5 inches that will mark. Remember the 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be pinning it down. Please, as you're pinning down, look at my 1.5 inches. So make sure that allowance is in place. So the first thing you need to do, go ahead, fold your fabric, fold your foam, then bring your fabric this way. Once you fold your foam into two, so you bring it this way. Also be careful. All right, you check your allowance. As you can see what I'm doing, make sure you're not sewing on the allowance. Okay, make sure you're not sewing on the allowance, because if you do that, it will warrant you not to start losing and starting all over again. I believe you can see what I'm doing. So as I'm pinning it down, I'm also checking my allowance. Okay, so as I'm pinning it down, I'm checking my allowance. So this will help me to be on track. Sorry for that. So as you can see, I'm still checking my allowance. So you pin it down. So pinning it down will help you to achieve a neat finishing. So it's important that you pin it down. Okay, it's important that you pin it down. So that is it. As you can see the allowance is there. All right, the allowance. So let me just quickly stitch it down. Let me stitch it down. Before we go back to the next step. Please, I'm not stitching on the foam, okay, but rather I'm stitching very close to the foam. As you can see, I'm stitching very close to the foam, but not on top the foam. So as you're stitching, once you're getting closer to where you pin down, just go ahead and remove the pins. You just go ahead and remove the pins. getting to the last one, you also remove your pin and you stitch it down. So this is it. So we are done with the first one. So this is the allowance. This allowance now will now help us to join our band. All right, so let's move over to the second one. So to do that, so with your measuring tape, you're going to measure out 1 inch. Okay, measure out 1 inch. You mark it either 1 inch or 1.5. You mark it. Okay, if you can trace it with your eye, so you quickly do that. So after marking out your 1 inch, so you go ahead, get your second foam, you still place it, so you're going to be folding it. So that's 1 inch or 1.5. So that's the space interval that we're going to be using. Alright, so it will now serve as an allowance for our design to relax. Okay, make sure that that 1 inch that you mark, so sorry, I went ahead to mark that 1 inches at the front. Okay, so as you can see the 1 inch allowance, as you can see the mark. So patiently just do it and be patient. All right, this particular design requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of patience. So please, as you're pinning down, make sure you're smoothing out the fabric. Okay, make sure you're smoothing it out. You don't need that puffy. Okay, make sure everything is smooth. So I'll be, just watch what I'm doing. Okay, I'll be doing less of talking this time. Just observe all that I'm doing. Just observe what I'm doing. Once you're done pinning down, okay, for you to know that you're on track, just confirm the 1-inch allowance that you have. Okay, so we are going to be stitching it down like this. Please remember, we are not joining it together with this, so just take it this way and you stitch it down straight. So remember, we are stitching it down separately. So as I said, as you're stitching it down, make sure to smoothen out your fabric. Please make sure as you stitch, you check. So remember that to check the allowance, make sure you're not stitching on that 1.5-inch allowance that we cut out earlier. Okay, so we are done with the second one. So let me just show you. So as you can see how it is. Okay, you can see how relaxed it is. So just go ahead, continue. So it all depends on how many step of this pleat that you want to achieve. All right, so I cut out 5. You can do less than 5 or you can do more than 5. So it all depends on what you want and the fabric, okay, you're using. All right, so I'll just complete it, then I'll come back to show us the next thing to do.